Paramachandran, our ministers here in the Kerala government, they were explaining what was the situation. Comrade Karim also explained what was the situation at the time of the government. They took over the administration of the state. Actually, there was a concerted attack, not only in this state, at the national level, from 1991 onwards, especially. And the 20 years experience and the efforts at various levels, at various stages, to see that the public sector enterprises, not only loss-making units, but even the profitable units, and the units which have been referred to or given the status of Navaratnas, Maharatnas, to show their gratitude, to show their capacity to do things. Even when that was happening, and even in this state, when the previous governments wanted to sell off the public enterprises in this state, and we have all noted, those who are interested had noted, that irrespective of the policy, political affiliations, the working class, the working people in the state, various central trade unions, trade union organizations had come together to oppose that. And the leaders of that movement who opposed privatization in the state had come to power, and they took it up as a challenge. And that is where it matters. And the LDF leaders, Karim and other ministers, and the ministry as a whole, with the help of academicians, experts, economists, who had a belief in the philosophy of public sector, they were able to show that this can be done. And for that, when we are here, when I get an opportunity, I take this opportunity to congratulate them. Everybody talks of a political will. Yes, the political will. The political will for what? The political will to create a department of disinvestment and go on disinvesting the public sector, the people's property, or the political will to have a department or a section under the industries department in Kerala to have an establishment like RIAB, where the experts, administrators, everybody come together to see that these SOEs, state-owned enterprises, can be resurrected, and they were able to do what is expected of it. And that way, an alternate policy to the neoliberal policies that are being implemented, as with a label that there is no alternative to all these things. And the success story from this small state of Kerala, yes, what we talk about is 100 crores, 140 crores, 200 crores, compared to the capital investment in various other central public sectors in the state also, in the country also. If we take it into consideration, this is small. But these small things, it makes an alternative policy, it brings an alternative policy to the forefront. And here, it is generally said, give the devil its share. The devils, yes, the working class in this country were depicted as people who are unfit to be here, and who are made responsible, who are shown as responsible for all the ills of the country. But it is to the credit of the working people of this country, during the last 20 years, the trade union movement, the working class, and fought for it, fought against these policies continuously for the last 20 years. Yes, workers have no other go. When we want to protest, yes, we had to hold demonstrations, we had to hold meetings, we had to hold rallies, and finally, if there is no other option, we go for a strike, a protest strike. Divagaran and Premachandran, they were saying there is no strike in this part of the state for bonus, for other things, because when the interests of the workers are taken care of by the government, yes, there is nothing. But why did the trade unions come together? It started in 1991 when this effort to privatization started, when the LPG policies were being implemented in this country. And from 1991 to 2010, during the last 20 years, it started as a section of the trade unions in this country coming together in 1991 to fight against, to oppose these policies. And what do we see now? Without any exception, all the central trade union organizations, all the workers' organizations, politically affiliated, independent affiliations, federations, all workers, employees, and all the sectors come together and protest against these policies and demand that there should be a change in the policies of the government. And in that, all the trade unions who are representative and leaders, national level leaders, international leaders, state level leaders, they are all here. And this trade union, the united movement of the trade union, have done something so that the speed with which this government wanted to act. Professor Sundaram was saying that they wanted, within a short space of time, they wanted to do things before it was being opposed by the managers and employees. Like that. Yes, they wanted to do it at the earliest. But during the last 20 years, at least give the credit, a small credit to the trade union movement in this country, that we were able to resist, we were able to stop, we were actually put some hurdles on the speed with which the rulers, the government wanted to go for privatization, and they could not accomplish or they could not complete what they wanted to do because of the united movement of the working class in this country. And I'm sure that the 20 years, with the lessons that are being learned at the international level and the lessons that are being learned in the national level also, those who want privatization will try to have a rethink on all these things. I'm not sure about it. But the trade unions, the workers together, and the academicians, and the experts, and other economists who have a philosophy, who at least out of experience believe in the philosophy that there should be the powerful public sector undertaking so that at least the loot against the people, the ordinary people, is stopped. And so, for the cause of the people, for serving the people, for safeguarding the interests of the country as a whole, the necessity of public sector has been underscored, and Professor Patnaik referred to it again, and he has been doing that again and again. And on behalf of my organization, CITU, with the struggles that we have been conducting all these years, with the cooperation of the trade union movement and the workers who had stood together in safeguarding the interests of this country, for a policy, for a change in policy, for an alternative policy. And it is on that score the LDF government in Kerala has shown that there can be an alternate policy, and if there is a political will, and if there is a political philosophy on which this political will is based, and with that, we will be able to move ahead. And I again take this opportunity to congratulate the LDF government, the team of officials, the workers, and our ministers who have done an excellent job to safeguard, not only safeguarding the work and interests of the workers in Kerala, but to show that an alternative policy is possible. And for that, we have to thank those who are responsible for this. And with these words, I take leave. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The General Secretary of the Revolutionary Socialist Party of India, Mr. T.G. Chandrachudan, is with us here. Let me request him to deliver his address.
Such a very bad reputation was created because of a political rivalry and also because of anti-labor policies adopted by some of the parties in Kerala. All along, Kerala has been a trend setter in so many things, especially in the matters of development and also social upliftment. In the matter of social upliftment, social development, we have earned a name, a model. We have become a model, Kerala model of development. Kerala model of development is a very curious model in the sense that we achieved so many social developments without proper infrastructure or without a proper economic base, as it is everywhere else. Apart from that, in so many other factors, I don't go to enumerate or detail all those things, but in many a matter, Kerala has been a trailblazer or a trendsetter. And in this case also, in the case of state-owned industries also, we have been following that path, becoming a model to other states and other places. Here, when we discuss about the growth and stability of the state-owned enterprises or resurgence of state-owned enterprises, we will have to take note that it's a very difficult time in the arena of industry. Very difficult time because of so many other speakers are dwelled upon that. I don't go deep into it. But one thing I would like to point out in this occasion, because you are all very much conversant, you are all very, very much involved with this affair, industry, and its development. And in this case, we will have to take into account a new trend or a development that is lurking its head in Indian industry. Formerly, private industrialists were very men of integrity and honesty. They were very much respected because they contributed much to they earned their profit, but along with that, they contributed much to the development of the Indian economy, Indian society. But today, the picture is being very, very rapidly changed. Changed to such an extent that today private industry thrives not by doing competitive business or competitive industrial activity, but by eating into the public funds, by misusing public money. That is no business, that is not industry, you know. As in the case of petroleum industry, as in the case of telecom industry, when you go deep into the profit-making activities that are being adopted by the well-known industrial houses, we will come to know that they are not, nowadays they are not doing business or industry, running industry properly, but they are trying to make profit out of state exchequer, out of people's money without doing anything. That is what is seen in the petroleum scam, the telecom scam, and whatever new business enterprises that involves crores and crores of thousands and crores of rupees. We find that this new trend of exploiting state exchequer at the cost of the people is the most undesirable activity that is developed. This is because of too much of liberalization. Liberalization doesn't mean that earning profit without any business, but this is being done. And everywhere, not only in India, but this Indian industry has copied it from Western capitalism. There also we find that during the economic meltdown of 10 years back or 20 years back in 1980, when succor was provided, financial assistance was provided by the state to those industries, to those capitalists, we find that assistance was also diverted for the top echelons of the society only the industrialists, not to the workers or not for the proper development of the industry. I pointed out this to take note that we are doing all these things at a time when public industries, public sector undertakings, state-owned industries are being dubbed as white elephants. It is said that the public undertakings are controlled by people who doesn't have initiative, who doesn't know what is needed by the people, who are not committed to their profession. They are civil servicemen. They are people from government service who are not innovative, who are not dedicated. But these things are in Kerala, by their activities, they have changed the scenario. That is very good. And this type of activity by the Kerala government, especially the Industries Department, and also by other departments like labor, civil supplies, other developmental departments. They have contributed much to the development of the Kerala society to become a model to other states. In so many things, Kerala has become a model to the other states, as well illustrated earlier. And I hope that public sector industries, many of them are competition free. They are monopoly industries. And in monopoly industries, Western interests also crop in. But anyhow, we are very glad to notice that from the profit that the present well-run industries have earned, the Kerala Industries Department have plans. They have plans to start 10 or more industries from out of the profits that you have earned by diverting that profit to start new public sector undertakings. This is a great achievement, and I congratulate all of those who are concerned with it. And this seminar, this conference is good and well and good because exchange of ideas, discussions, and also mutual knowledge, mutual understanding will create a better atmosphere for the development of the public-owned industry enterprises. And on that, I am very happy, and I congratulate all of you who are taken initiative for this conference and also for all these achievements. Thank you all.
President of this meeting, Honorable Minister, Mr. Elamarin Karim, His Excellency, the Ambassador of Cuba, the representative of UN, Mr. Sundaram, and my colleagues on the dais. That dimension, is it a dimension which is appreciable for the world? That is a question which is posed to you. Especially in the present scenario, where there is a global crisis on finance, there is a global job pact adopted by the UN and India too, and India declared it in the Commonwealth Nations Conference and G20 Conference. And as a whole, when we look, the whole world is facing crisis, but India is growing economically. Our economics is growing to 9% in GDP. But our human index is going down. Our human index, now evaluated by the UN, has come down very much 134 to 137. Yet we are progressing. However, the government in Kerala has a different outlook. That is the big thing which I have to say to the world now. Public sector undertakings, of course, the industrial climate of Kerala in certain aspects is not good. Not good because we are lacking many things. We have no land. We have a big population. We have no raw materials as that of Orissa. But we have human power. Human resources we have. And the Industries Department has found out that the human resources is the main resource which is to be developed, and for that purpose, they framed a committee or a board utilizing the services of experts who have shown their excellency in service. The retired IAS persons, the presently working cadre, then such people who can bring development to the country, especially with a view to generate employment, which is a slogan of the present day, international slogan of the UN, which is given. That is, creation of job is the motto at present. And that too, decent job. And this is the decent work agenda, millennium goal of the UN. giving a perfect understanding to that issue and giving an outlook to social justice and giving emphasis to the words given by Mahatma Gandhi that the step which we take, how it will affect the lowest man in the society. We are moving forward. I congratulate Mr. Karim in organizing things like this and moving forward with the cooperation of every partner in the industry to develop this scenario. Private-public participation mentioned by Mr. Sundaram. But Kerala, the participation, what is thought for by the industries department is the involvement of worker, public, and people. And in that way, they have somewhere or other synchronized certain efforts and given results. Given results, I am a trade unionist. I have unions in the public sector, in the state-owned public sector. I know the earlier approach and the present approach. Now the trade unions feel they are part of the management. They have to give a role. They have to give some advice. They sit together with the management and the management call them, discuss. There is a feeling of ownership by the worker. This is the first and most important role, the model role, if the international society has to carry from Kerala, that is the first role. They have found out the importance of the worker and doing it. We have seen, Mr. Sundaran told you about the nationalization in America. That is on self-interest. That is a fraud. That is being opposed by us. I had the occasion to demonstrate recently in front of UN headquarters in New York. That is when America decided to take away the money of the public and exchequer to encourage the corrupt practices which had been committed by the insurance companies and banks. The nationalization which is meant there is not, as Gandhiji told, looking at the poor man. So we trade unionists are opposing it. The World Bank and the WTO and the IMF is meeting on next month's second week in Washington. We are going there. The trade unions are going there. Sharon Barrow is giving us leadership. We are going to demonstrate. We are going to tell the institutions, the financial institutions, the Bretton Woods institutions, stop with this practice. Give job. Don't take away the money of the people to help the man who looted the world, the persons who looted the world. That is a slogan which we are giving. About Russia, you told that they want to privatize. That is not for the industry. It was also a fraud. Kerala has got a different picture. Both this nationalization and privatization, which Mr. Sundaram explained here, we are not practicing. We are practicing the components in the industry, the requisite elements in the industry to involve and diversify, and with a goal that every man, he is born with two hands, not only with one mouth. So we are trying to utilize it. And we may utilize it, and we may become a model role model in India. That is our expectation. And in that way, we are marching forward. We hope we will be able to do something in this line, and we hope that the trade unions have to cooperate in this matter. And therefore, I, being one of the person representing the Indian workers in the international forums in UN, as well as in ILO, as well as in the ITUC, I would like to say that the Kerala is having a role model and a model which you all can appreciate. Even Cuba, we are watching Cuba very much. But now we feel that Cuba is also going on the wrong way. You are also going for a privatization. without caring the interest of the people. That is why what we read in the media. We want Cuba to stand strong and fight against social evil. We are for social justice and we fight for social justice, and Kerala has been a successful theory, and even Amartya Sen has said that here we have succeeded in these matters and we are going ahead, and congratulations to the Industries Department and Industries Minister in bringing all of us together. Thank you very much for this opportunity.
Now, God's own country, after this 2 days session, 2 days meeting on this resurgence of state-owned enterprises, God's own country is more looking from the speeches. As for today, it's a public sector's own country, but that is a very teeny part of this whole country as a whole. What is the message we are sending? Internationally, but more importantly, right today when we are standing here and discussing, to the corridors of policy makers and power brokers in Delhi. Right now, the country as it is, as a democratic polity, stands challenged, stands threatened by what you call